Hi, it's Debbie from Readings with Debbie, and welcome to this January 2025 business reading. I hope you've had a great festive period and you're easing into January well. The video is a little bit late. It often takes me a few days to just kind of get into the energy of January, but hopefully you can still watch this with enough time left in January to take on board the guidance that's brought through by these card decks that I'm going to use in the reading. So 2025 is looking really exciting. Numerologically, it is 9 years, so it's a year of completion. So we're going to be wrapping up a lot of things this year. Realizing what hasn't worked so far in our business, what has worked, and we're really going to be able to see what to do going forward and what to let go of, which is going to be really helpful as well. I'm going to be using a variety of decks that I use in my in-depth personalized business readings for female business owners. And I'll be talking a little bit more about the readings during the video. About my in-depth business readings also in the notes below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you would like regular business guidance on a wide range of business topics. Okay, so for the January 2025 reading, we have 3 piles here to choose from. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So if you've never done a pick a card reading before, then how this works is you go with what you're immediately drawn towards. So it's the first deck that you automatically went towards, that is the deck that you need to listen to the guidance for. And the timestamps are down below in the description as well. So after you've picked pile 1, 2, or 3, then go to the description, click on the timestamp, and it will take you straight to your business reading. So take some time to decide which one you would like. You can also choose 2 piles, or you can listen to the whole video as well. That's completely up to you if you want some really in-depth guidance. But go with the deck that you were instantly drawn to, and then go to the timestamp, and I'll see you in your reading. So hello to everyone that chose pile 1. I'm going to put your crystal just there. This is actually my oracle card deck that I have created, and it is the Business Oracle for Female Entrepreneurs. This is available for pre-order right now, and I'll put the link in the description box. And let's get started. So let's get 3 cards from my deck, which is a practical business deck designed to be like a business coach in your pocket. You can use the deck for a daily card pull just to keep you on track with your business. You can use it to do weekly business readings, month ahead business readings. Just if you're ever feeling overwhelmed or confused about what to focus on at that time, then the deck was designed to help you in those situations as well. So I'm just going to take the deck and let's get 3 cards from this. Okay. Okay, great. So we have Get Creative, Coaching, and Branding. Yeah, this is looking like January for you, pile 1, is about creativity. It's about self-development, learning. The Get Creative card is often about creating for the fun of it or learning a new creative skill. So it might be that in January, you might not be feeling guided to jump straight back into doing all the things for your business. And it might be that you're just meant to be doing things that you enjoy doing, fun, creative things, learning new creative skills, and that is going to have a positive effect on your business. If you're in that kind of creative energy of having fun, of doing things for the joy of it, if you're kind of feeling a bit of resistance to throwing yourself right back into business at this point, then go with that, listen to that, and focus on doing other things, and that will help you to get your mojo back to start getting creative in the business, maybe on social media, that kind of thing as well. But think about anything you might be guided to right now. You might want to go and do a sip and paint class. You might want to go and do a cookery class, watch interior design, DIY videos on YouTube, and just give yourself permission to do that in January as well. There's no rush to get to throw ourselves straight into it right now. A lot of people believe that spring is actually the start of our new year. Obviously, we need to be making money before then, but if it means that you have a slow start to the year, focus on feeling good, getting your energy in a good place, then I feel like that would be really beneficial. Next, we have the coaching cards. So there's some guidance here around thinking about maybe working with a coach in 2025 to move forwards with your business. It could be that there's some areas that you might struggle with a bit, like social media. You might struggle with focus and getting distracted. You might struggle with money, attracting abundance or prosperity. So this could be a really great month, obviously January, New Year, to start working with a coach so that you have a successful 2025. So that could be a money coach, a sales coach. If you are like me and have ADHD, an ADHD coach to keep you accountable and get organized. So many different coaches out there for so many different things. If you're thinking about writing a book, you could get a book coach. Yes, so whatever this might be bringing up for you, really pay attention to that. This could also be the year that you step into coaching in some respect. You may have already coached clients in the past, but this could really be the year that you step into that. That could be one of the main areas of business for you. You're really supporting people with what you've learned, maybe from your own business experience in other areas as well. So yeah, exciting that that coaching card has come out. I feel like you're going to make some big steps in January 2025, Pyle 1, regarding self-development, working with a coach, or you stepping into a coaching role. And as you probably know, coaches need a coach themselves just to, have accountability, to be supported. If you're supporting lots of other people in your work, then you need to be supported as well. So just something to think about there too. And then we've got the branding card. So it might well be that at the start of this new year, you're thinking about maybe having a rebrand. You're looking at how you can make your branding more appealing to your ideal clients. You could have already started on this, kind of playing around with branding yourself, using something like Canva to think about, new visuals, fonts, maybe having a new logo, that kind of thing, just to kick off this year with. So it's definitely a good time to learn more about branding right now. You might also want to work with a branding expert, a graphic designer. If you're not feeling massively confident, maybe doing it yourself and investing in working with someone who's an expert in branding might be a really good thing for your business right now. So just bear that in mind. But I'm loving that we've got very creative cards here that get creative and branding. And we've got the coaching card as well. It could be that if you're watching this Pyle 1, that you do some coaching around helping people to step into their creativity, or branding as an aspect of what you're coaching as well. So I'm really liking those cards for you from the get-go. So now I want to get you a couple of Sacred Creators cards. So let's see what comes out. Okay. Move this up here. Okay. Great. So we have move beyond intention to belief, and you are living poetry, which is such a nice kind of affirmation there, isn't it? Okay, so move beyond intention to believe, and our symbol there, we have a key. So I feel like pile 1 in January 2025, it's really time to step into, you know, believing that you can do what you've come here to do, believing that you have this purpose, that you can do what you came here to do, and challenging any self-doubts that might have been coming up. It could well be that 2024 was challenging. Could be starting 2025 with self-doubt, like, oh my God, is this business idea going to work? And I feel like your guides are just saying to you, it's time to step into that bulletproof belief about yourself now. And that is the key to moving forward and being successful in business. I think a lot of us are kind of encouraged to set lots of intentions, to goal set, to have the dreams, that kind of thing. And that's all great. We need to do that. You know, like, I really recommend like regularly doing a business vision board on Canva or the traditional way, to bring in, to attract what you want to attract in your business. But I feel like your guides are saying the intentions and then put these things into action, okay? I think a lot of the time we kind of know deep down what we need to do, but we avoid doing it. So for example, last year I was guided to do more YouTube readings, but then I had some kind of challenges with it, with the practical, like technical aspects of putting it together. So I kind of shelved it, left it, and then it was like gnawing away at me, and that's why I'm back doing the readings again. I also was getting guided to do a podcast, but then again, I wasn't kind of listening to the guidance. There was some fear coming up about sharing my story, sharing my voice, that kind of thing. So I really feel that 2025 is the time to, move beyond intentions, guidance that you got last year, and then really stepping into taking action on those things that you have been guided to do in 2025 to really go to the next level with your business. I like that that's come out just to nudge us to really take that forward in January. And then we've got You Are Living Poetry, which is just such a lovely affirmation. This card is all about your unique essence, your personal brand of expression. So I kind of love that it's currently sitting on the branding card, because it's just about getting very clear on your authentic expression, your truth, your creative expression, linking into the Get Creative card as well, which I'm loving the synchronicity of this. Are you allowing your authentic expression to shine through everything that you're doing, your message and your business? And it's really easy to start mimicking what other people are doing if it's successful. I know that I've done that in the past sometimes, and it tends not to work if we are bringing in other things that other people are doing. Yeah, okay, there's the tried and tested successful techniques. But I feel like in January 2025, Pile 1, you're really being asked to step into your unique message, your unique energy that's going to attract your ideal clients and set you out as being different from the crowd. Okay, it's all about shining your light fully. It's easy if we've gone through trauma to like bury things, to like hide away, to avoid being as visible as we probably should be. So it may just be that in January, it's just about getting curious and identifying how past fears, worries, and guilt could be holding us back from fully putting our message out into the world. Remember that all of those difficulties, those challenges are actually part of what you're kind of here to share and teach. Just going back to the coaching card, most of us kind of heal and then we teach people how to heal the same things. You know, a lot of us are wounded healers, and we're here to really help people to move through similar things. Okay. Yeah, so in January, avoid turning down your brilliance, hiding your truth, and shying away from creative expression. Okay. Shying away from sharing and hiding yourself away. Because I think deep down, you know that it's time to be visible, to step up, to be the leader. And that can be scary, but it just takes practice. If you going to be more visible on Instagram. It's practicing getting good at reels, creating like really compelling visual content as well that really makes people take notice. And again, that's where you might be guided to work with somebody who's an expert in that as well. I think your guides are just wanting you to bring that story, bring that poetry, bring that message through and get used to being in the spotlight. You know, you have so much to share, you have so much knowledge to give, so much value to give to others, then it's just really, really time to step into that. All of this card as well is about shining your truth into the world, helping others as well, stepping away from the status quo, like old-fashioned beliefs, traditional beliefs as well, identifying limiting beliefs, just kind of linking into what was said there, and moving beyond those as well, because I just feel like you're really stepping into an amazing creative phase, Pile 1, that's gonna just transform your work, and it's just going to be so amazing when you are sharing your true self. That can be very scary, obviously, you know, especially if it's difficult or traumatic, but you probably are feeling like people need to hear that right now. So keep chipping away at the blocks that are stopping you from doing that. Okay, so let's get some guidance on abundance, Pile 1. Let's get a card regarding abundance, prosperity, money for January 2025. Great, we have soul wealth. So often we think of wealth as the money in the bank, you know, the numbers, that kind of thing. But this is talking about the wealth of your soul, about the wealth that's carried within your soul. You're so much more than the money that you have in your bank. You've got so much more value that could ever be reflected in the physical world. So I feel like, you know, if things have been difficult financially, you might be getting pulled into that kind of panicky, desperate energy. Like, oh my God, I need to be making money quickly. I need to have a good January. It sets the tone for the year. But really try and stop putting the pressure on yourself in regards to that if you can. Okay, this card's all about embracing your innate value, reacquainting yourself with the value you carry just by being you. And it's so easy to forget that, isn't it? We're looking around at what other people are doing. We're comparing ourselves unfavorably. So I feel like I really need to hear this guidance actually of just trying to take a step back from that and just realizing how much value you have, how much worth you have just by being the person that you are. And it's not about the business owner that you are, how much profit you make, that kind of thing. In January, I feel for you, Pile 1, it's more about, you know, giving yourself permission to do these creative things for the fun of it as well. Poetry, you know, there's a huge creativity link here as well. So if all you do in January is do really fun, creative things and really step into that creativity, I think that's enough, because that's going to propel you forward. That's going to get you in a really good energy for the rest of 2025. Okay. And then when you appreciate your true value, apart from money, away from money and external success, that will put you into a higher vibration, and then that will bring you more of the material wealth that you're potentially looking for as well. In January, try to stop looking at external factors, external indications of success, okay? And really just come back to yourself. Think about how amazing you are, everything you've learned, how great you are at your roles, maybe within your family, with your friends, if you volunteer, like all of the other things that you do. And yeah, try not to put too much pressure on yourself to have everything together in January. I feel like that is one big message that's coming through here. So next, I want to get some self-care guidance for January for you. Oh, okay. So we have sync with the moon. So yeah, I feel like in January, maybe come back to any practices that you have been doing, maybe new moon, full moon intentions. Come back to those kind of practices if you've stepped away from them. Make a note in your diary of the new moons and the full moons of 2025, or even just for the month ahead. You set intentions on the new moon, let go on the full moon. This could even be about joining women's circle that works with the energy of the moon phases as well. If you follow me on Instagram, I post business guidance on the new moon and full moon. I'll put the link below in the description, which is just tapping into the energy of the moon with regards to your business as well. But yeah, there's something here about syncing back up with the moon and its phases and working with them, just to feel more grounded in January. And it's really nice to do this in a group as well. So that could be something to think about, just to support you energetically as well. Next, I want to get a business astrology card. Great. So we have Virgo, grounded healer. Pile 1, I wouldn't be surprised if you were a healer of some sort, and this is just confirming that. You might still be stepping into your full power as a healer in whatever area that you work in as well, but this is confirmation that you are a healer. And in the card, we have a lot of nature imagery there as well. So I feel like in January, another thing to do, apart from the being creative for the fun of it, is to really get out in nature as much as you can. I know that the weather isn't great in some parts of the world, but this will really help you to feel grounded at the start of 2025. Virgo is pretty analytical, organized, and detailed as well. Could even be a Virgo watching this as well, which would be a nice little synchronicity. This card is all about self-care as well, affirming that you're a healer, but also tuning in to what you might be needing in January to help heal yourself as well. This could be practicing more Reiki, energy healing on yourself, doing some crystal healing on yourself, using essential oils, all of that kind of thing. It's very much about earth-based healing, okay? And I feel like the simplest way to do that, as I said, is just to be in nature as much as you can in January, okay? The Virgo aspect could just be about kind of January being a month of organization, getting your ducks in a row, getting planning, and not necessarily putting loads of things into place, if that resonates with you as well. And the affirmation with this card is, I am the high priestess of my own life and I heal myself with ease. Okay, so I'm loving that the astrology card is about healing as well. It really makes sense based on what has been coming out. I feel like it is a month for you, Pile 1, to go more within, and that's going to really set you up amazingly well for 2025. As I said, just giving yourself that permission to maybe ease into the year, do things that are going to really raise your vibration, put you in a great energy, and then you can put out offers and services when you are feeling like in a really great place and your energy, your vibration is high, okay? So we are coming on to the last two cards, Pile 1. So I'm going to get you a soul coaching card, which is kind of like a word for the year. Oh, okay. So we have Voyage, Pile 1. Absolutely love this card. It's so funny because I've just watched The Goonies as well. And that looks very similar to the ship that's in that film. Wow, so your word for the year, Pile 1, is voyage. Okay, this could have numerous meanings. The most obvious one is kind of like traveling 2025, going on actual trips, and that will expand your horizons. It could even mean traveling for business as well, or being more of a nomad in 2025, maybe working from your laptop and traveling around. I feel like this could also be talking about like a spiritual voyage as well, like going way deeper into your spirituality this year. Kind of, it could mean going on retreats, which combines traveling and your spirituality. So, and it could be both. You could be traveling quite a bit and going onto that inner journey as well, that inner spiritual journey. But that's kind of giving me excitement, adventure, and I just absolutely love that card for you. Like this as well is about stepping out of your comfort zone, getting out of the harbor, because nothing massively exciting happens there, and getting out, voyaging out into the world and stepping out of your comfort zone, definitely. I feel like your guides, I'm hearing that everything that's happened, even the really difficult stuff, the challenging stuff, was all part of the path that you were meant to go on. And that's part of what you're here to teach as well. Affirmation is, I am safe and loved no matter where I am, which is such a nice thing to hear, especially if things are just feeling a little bit sticky, not the easiest in January as well. And I'm going to finish with an affirmation card here. Let's see what comes out, Pile 1. Oh, that flew across the room. Oh, nice. Okay. Marvelous, light-filled things are always happening to me. This is a especially good one, I guess, if things are feeling a little bit difficult. It's a really nice way to lift the spirits, to maybe switch our attention away from the tricky stuff that's happening and focus on the good that's happening, because I really believe there's always good, even within the challenge. It could be a good time to really step into your gratitude journaling. I use an app called Gratitude Jar, which I just put in anything good that's happened that day, no matter how small. And then you can like shake the jar on the app and it'll throw out one of the things that you've put into the jar. It could be something from months ago, but it's just a really nice way to stay positive. Especially if things are feeling a little bit stormy. So Pile 1, I really hope that resonated with you. The energy I'm getting is that it's a really good idea to ease into January. You might have already tried to put some things out there, and it might just be feeling a little bit tricky energy-wise, maybe like to get engagement on what you're trying to do. And if that's the case, then I feel like your guides are just telling you to work on other things at this point. So maybe get started with a coach and create a plan for 2025. Working on your branding, your visuals, to set yourself up for what you're going to put out in 2025 in terms of your content. Being creative for the fun of it as well. Really stepping into that self-belief in January as well. Setting your intentions, yes. Doing your vision board, that kind of thing. But really stepping into the belief that you can achieve what you want to achieve in 2025. And sharing your unique energy story. You know, like, I feel like people really need to hear what you've been through, and you know, that's going to resonate with your ideal clients, definitely. Remembering that you're more than just your bank account, doing the self-care work of syncing with the moon and being in nature as much as possible, using other healing techniques as well, stepping into your role as a healer in this lifetime as well, and fully embracing that. And you're also going on this exciting voyage, be that outer or inner, and just remembering that marvelous light-filled things are always happening to you, and really looking for the silver lining in everything, okay? Being grateful for the fun, the kind of smaller things in life as well in January. Yeah, I really hope that resonated. Please leave a message below and please comment. It's really helpful if it has resonated to let me know about it. And yeah, in the description, I have all the links to my social media where I share a lot of business guidance on things like Instagram as well. And if you're looking for a coach, I am taking on coaching clients in 2025. I'll put all the details below too. I also offer private business readings. I'm doing a 12-card personalised 2025 reading right now, and also the in-depth business reading, which gives you a 3-month ahead business plan, giving you guidance on things like how to attract your ideal clients, what products and services you could offer, how to overcome any limiting beliefs that are going on right now as well. And I'll put all that information below. But thank you so much for watching, and have a great January. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to be all action. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so hello, Pyle 2, and welcome to your January 2025 business reading. You would have been guided to choose this pile here with the gorgeous spirit quartz there. So I'm just going to put that there and let's get on with your reading. So I'm going to be using my own deck, which is the Business Oracle for Female Entrepreneurs. This is available for pre-order right now, and it should be shipping at the end of January, beginning of February. And yeah, I designed it to be like a business coach in your pocket. I created my own business reading for myself when I was transitioning to this spiritual business, and realized that there was only one deck that I could find on business. So I had an idea to make my own. I tried to make quite a practical deck with cards on marketing, money, self-care, self-development, and there's some spirituality cards in there as well. Let's get 3 cards from my deck and see what comes out for you. This is guidance, business guidance for January 2025. Okay, great. Okay, so first of all, we've got relax. Okay, we also have podcasts. And let's get a 3rd card, which has flown across the room. Okay, and we have coaching as well. Interesting that our first card is relaxed. So pile 2, I feel like your guides are saying to you, like, there's no rush to be doing all the things in January. If you feel like you need a bit more time after the festive period to recharge your batteries, to kind of ease your way into 2025, then listen to that guidance and try not to be pulled into what other people are doing, you know, like pulled into taking all of the action. If you're not feeling it, because if you're not feeling it, that will come across in your content and what you're trying to do. Guidance on the card is step away from work for a while to recharge your batteries, okay? This could also just be talking as well about better work-life balance, like really trying to spend more time relaxing, even if you are feeling guided to kind of be putting lots of things in action in January. And just being really intentional about the way you relax. So on the card, I put an aromatherapy burner, some headphones, a plant kind of symbolizing plants, nature, gardening, that kind of thing, and some herbal tea. So I think it's just about, as well, in January, just really putting in time to relax, like literally blocking that in your diary. Especially if you're, you know, feeling not massively like recharged, if you're not feeling 100%, if you're still like a bit in hibernation mode as well. Because the more you look after yourself and the more self-care you do, the more recharged you're going to be, and the more that energy is going to come across in your content, in the offerings, in the events that you're putting out there as well. If we rush back into things too quickly, or we're doing things because we feel like we have to, instead of what we're being guided to do, from like a filled up place instead of coming from a place of lack, then usually people will sense that. Or I feel like pile 2, it's either really take it easy in January, you know, do some things, but don't be tempted to do like so many different new things. Or if you're still moving forward, like putting things out there, forging forward, then just be very like, really sit down and work out what you can be putting in your diary to help you relax. You know, this could be going for a swim, going to a spa. It could even be something simple like just sitting with your pet more and just not doing a lot. You know, or she's kind of like drawing here, doing something creative. But yeah, interesting that's jumped out first. And this is also kind of the theme of other readings as well in this video. Then we have the podcast card, which has actually come out for me quite a lot recently. And I feel like I'm being nudged to start a podcast, but I have had a bit of resistance and I need to overcome any blocks around like visibility and sharing my truth, basically. So a lot of my cards have kind of like two meanings. So with this card, it's talking about start listening to more podcasts, because that's going to be something that can really inspire you, give you lots of new ideas, help with self-development, with growth. So you might already be doing that, which is great. You might be massively into podcasts, so it's a bit of a confirmation. You could be thinking about creating a podcast, Pal, too, if you've picked this pile. If you don't feel quite ready to create a podcast, then you could think about being a guest on podcasts as well, because that will get your work out in front of new audiences, give you some practice in sharing your story and your message as well. So it could just be that in January, you maybe start listening to more podcasts, maybe while you're doing other things, or you might reach out to people who are asking for podcast guests for 2025 and really like push yourself out of your comfort zone to do that, because I feel like that would be really beneficial. It would get you out in front of more people and really raise your profile as well. And then we've got the coaching card. So this has actually come out for another pile in this video too. And it kind of makes sense because it's January, it's a new year. We're thinking of things that we can do to have a successful year. So it might well be that you're thinking about working with a coach or a mentor. It could be on a specific area of business this year, something that you might have struggled with last year. And you might just need that accountability, that guidance in 2025, because you want to master something, you want to get better at something, and you might be finding that hard to kind of do it yourself. So I am feeling the energy of potentially working with a coach, somebody that you really gel with, that you find really inspiring, that can hold you accountable. And it could be like a money coach, a sales coach, a well-being coach if you struggle with work-life balance. There's coaches for practically every area of business now. A lot of people are realizing they've got ADHD, and there's lots of coaches out there to help people like manage the condition as well. So yeah, this is a very clear sign to invest in a coach or mentor if that is something that you're thinking about right now. This card is also saying that you would make a really good coach. And pile two, if you've chosen this, it might be that you're already a coach, and this is just confirmation that you're on the right path. If you're not a coach, but this is appealing to you, then I would highly recommend that you read books on coaching, look at doing maybe a course to help you get qualified as a coach. You don't need to do a qualification. Usually, many of us have been through a lot of things, which actually, it's the experience of going through situations, healing situations, that make people the best coaches, in my opinion, as well. And so this is just an example of some of the cards in the deck, and I really hope that you like that artwork as well. I tried to make the deck inclusive, having lots of women of different shapes, races, women of different religions, that kind of thing in there as well. So let's move on and get some Sacred Creators cards. So this is another business deck that I like to use, and I'll put a list of all the decks that I've used below. So let's just get two cards from here. Wow, okay, they've flown across the room. So we have Limitations Inspire Innovations. We also have You Are Light, which is a really nice affirmation there, confirmation. So limitations inspire innovations. So this card often jumps out if maybe you have been feeling a little bit limited in some sense in your business, and it's really asking you to spin any kind of limitations you have in a different way. Often if we have limitations, that could be time limitations, financial limitations. We have to get more creative, don't we? We have to think outside the box, if we have limited resources. So your guides are asking you to really see any limitations that you have as opportunities for improvement and progress in January. Seeing any hurdles for what they really are, you know, and a lot of the time they're lessons in disguise, opportunities for growth and self-discovery, and also limiting beliefs that are really wanting to be released at this time so you can move forward and move to, you know, the next level as well. Any limitations in January, I feel like they're not going to be permanent. They will be moving out of the way, but I feel like there's a lesson to be learned from any limitations, Pyle 2. They're there to like motivate you to grow. So just think about any limitations that are coming to mind and how you can actually turn them into something positive, okay? Coming up with creative solutions. Really believe that any limitations happening right now are not permanent, or they mean in any way that you failed, because this card is really saying that that is not the case at all, okay? Because this is actually sitting on the relaxed card. This could be around time. This could be around the fact that you are so busy and you really struggle to find time for anything else. And I feel like if that's the case, then it's really kind of looking at ways, creative ways that you can change that, maybe by delegating more, you know, freeing up time to do what you actually love instead of doing things that you don't enjoy, if that makes sense. And then we've got you are light. And I feel like your guides are just reminding you about the fact that you are a light worker. You're here to make a big difference. You're here to help people, to transform people. Maybe you need a reminder of that right now. You're so needed. You're kind of like a lighthouse in the dark for people. You're like able to guide people out of the darkness into the light, if that makes sense. And it's sitting on the coaching card, which kind of makes sense because a lot of coaches that do transformational work are effectively being the lighthouse, right? And it's important for you to protect your light and nurture it as well. Don't let people kind of dim your light. Try not to dim your own light as well. It's so easy to do that. We compare ourselves to others. We have imposter syndrome. We never think we're qualified enough, that kind of thing. But it's really important in January, Pyle 2, that you nurture and protect your light and the fact that you're a light worker. Outside of just business, this can mean just generally being a kind person, and your actions in terms of that are needed. Even little things like opening the door for somebody, that kind of thing. All of that is so needed right now in a world that isn't very kind, right? And really trust that your light will be accepted. And it could be that your light is shining a light on dark issues, you know, difficult subjects. And it can be easy to shy away from doing that. This could link into the podcast card about you sharing your story, light to things that are quite difficult, okay? And just be very aware of ways that you could be dimming your own light in January, Pyle 2, because right now that is not the way to go. We need your light in the world, okay? Are you hanging on to any fears of being seen or judged, or being like taking up too much space, being too successful, you know, this fear of success that a lot of us can have? And how can we face up to those beliefs and keep shining anyway, you know, keep moving forward despite some of these thoughts, some of these beliefs that we can have, which do hold us back, okay? Now let's get an abundance card, a prosperity card, and see what guidance we have for January, Pyle 2, around money. So we have the Stargazer. So this card is all about kind of patterns, the patterns that we see in the sky in terms of astrology, and finding order in the chaos, basically. Well, the Stargazer card is a reminder that the universe is filled with infinite abundance, okay? Just think about how many stars there are in the sky, the size of the universe. I think often we can feel like, you know, if money is tight, if work is quiet, that You know, we get pulled into lack. We get pulled into worry around abundance, prosperity, that kind of thing. And this card is talking about the importance of looking for patterns and clues that are pointing you in the right direction in January. And kind of being open to synchronicities, to signs that the universe is sending. In January, Pyle, to really be on the lookout for synchronicities when it comes to money and abundance. Look out for coincidences that happen. So if January is already starting to feel a bit chaotic, it's really important this month to look for signs and synchronicities, to ask your guides, the universe, to show you signs. You know, literally just say, universe guides, please show me how I can open up to more abundance in January. Often that's mainly about, you know, being in gratitude, trying not to get pulled into lack or scarcity around money, which is easier said than done. It could well be that practically it's asking you to zoom out and think about, you know, zoom out from yourself if you are getting pulled into worry around money. Just to realize, you know, we're in this huge universe, and there is so much money around, there is so much abundance around, even if we're not feeling that right now, and just being open to the fact that, you know, it is there and it is available. And often it's just about removing any limiting beliefs or limitations that are getting in the way of our abundance, maybe, you know, blocking more work coming our way, that kind of thing. But it's definitely all about looking for signs and synchronicities in January. Maybe a nudge you get to go to like a networking event, to put maybe an offer out there or some content out there, which will bring more work in. On the lookout for signs. I know it's not massively practical financial advice, but I'd be really interested to see if after watching this, things start to happen in terms of you, in terms of you'll get given signs and synchronicities to go down certain paths or do certain things that do open you up to more abundance, if that makes sense. So next, we're going to get a self-care card, because when you run a business, it's very easy to burn out. We work too much, so I like to add self-care cards to my readings to bring that balance. Okay, so this makes sense actually, because it's January. We've got clean your space, pile 2. Okay, so January is a really good time to have a good clean, to, you know, do some energy clearing work in your house, in your space. Obviously, we tend to do that around springtime as well. But you might be already doing this or feel guided to just have a really good clear out, to clean your windows, to do kind of like a deep clean. Say goodbye to 2024 and open your space up to the new energy of 2025. Obviously, a lot of spiritual people kind of don't put too much emphasis on the traditional, like, January the 1st situation. But I think there is something to be said about cleaning your space, maybe saging, using Palo Santo in your house. So in January, it's likely that you're going to feel guided to do this. And I do think that it's going to shift your energy as well, raise your vibration by cleaning and clearing your space. This can also mean having a clear out, sending things to the charity shop, selling things online, throwing things out that are no longer needed, and actually creating more space in your house as well. But kind of love that for January. It makes total sense. So next I'm going to get a business astrology card. And business astrology is an area that I'm getting really interested in. I find it fascinating. You can basically do a birth chart for your business based on, you know, when you registered the business or when you had your first sale, and get a chart which tells you so much information about when to do things, like your branding, you know, your ideal clients, all that kind of thing. It's really fascinating, and I am learning more about it at this time. So I just wanted to get a business astrology card and see what comes out. So Pyle 2, our business astrology card is Chiron Heal. Okay. So you might be new to astrology, or you might be very into it. I think the Chiron card is all about the wounded healer, insecurities and limitations that we might have. So it's interesting that it's touching on the limitations card. This is talking about reflecting whether you need to enter into a healing phase and address core wounds from your childhood that you may have brought into your business. In business astrology, Chiron represents the core insecurities or limitations that your business will experience, along with how it can heal from these limitations or learn to work with them. Chiron was a wounded healer in mythology, but it's saying that you have the ability to integrate your healing and harness it into a gift that helps others, okay, which has definitely been mentioned with the coaching card and with You Are Light and being a light worker. Very much about doing your healing work and harnessing it to help other people. This could be the thing that comes really easy to you as well, and why not do the things that come easily to us, okay? It just makes business and life so much easier and more joyful. You might be called to study astrology, spirituality, or healing topics. You might be ready to move from student to teacher at this point in January and help other people heal themselves through coaching or mentoring, which is linking specifically in with the coaching cards. So this makes so much sense. I just feel in January, Pyle 2, that you are stepping up, moving from the student, somebody who's done a lot of studies into different areas, and putting that work into practice combined with your experience to help other people heal themselves. It's not that you're specifically healing them. Often with coaching in that area, you're actually helping people to find the answers themselves, okay? How can you heal from and integrate your core wounds so you can harness them to support your clients more deeply going forward? And the affirmation is, by healing myself, I inspire others to heal themselves. And yeah, this is it. You doing your healing work makes a massive difference in the world, you know, like imagine how many people can be inspired by you getting through the challenges, the difficulties, the trauma that you might have been through. You doing the healing work just has such a ripple effect, and I absolutely love that that's come out relating to the other cards as well. So now I'm going to get you like a power word for January, which you can use for the whole of 2025. Nice. So you, Pyle 2, have got playfulness, which ever since I got this deck has been jumping out a lot in my readings, okay? So playfulness, look at these girls. They're just playing around. Look at the joy on their faces. How can you make January more playful, more fun in your business? How can you make it easier and not harder? And how can you make it like a bit of a game, because that energy will really raise your vibration, will help you attract new clients, new business as well. And yeah, there's just something here about, I feel like it's connecting into the relax card as well, just like kind of having fun with it in January, not getting too serious about everything. You know, we've got You Are Light as well. This could be like feeling light-hearted, light energy going on. Like, yeah, they're talking about healing work, but I feel like, Pyle 2, you've done the majority of that work. You're ready to step up and teach that, to coach people through that. I don't get that January is all about you going into deep childhood wounds necessarily. It's interesting that they've come out together, because it mentioned the childhood wounds, and then we've got the children in the card and the playfulness. So it kind of makes sense that they've come out together. Could well be that you are identifying any blocks that you've got that are linked into childhood, blocks around abundance, because you were told things about money which made you believe that there was a lack, there was, you know, not enough to go around, that kind of thing. And it could just be that you are kind of letting go of any last remnants of that kind of stuff before you really step into your power. So I really like that they've come out together. And then our final card, we're going to get an affirmation card. Okay, and that one flew right out. So we have, I wrap myself in my own self-love, for I am worthy of all good things. That's just such a great one. I feel like in the energy, for the energy of January, Pyle 2, it is about really prioritizing self-love, self-care, before work. For example, getting up in the morning and like doing some yoga, going for a walk, having a healthy breakfast before you launch into work. Maybe journaling, really easing into your day instead of like going straight on your phone or your laptop, which can feel counterintuitive. But I really feel like by doing that in January, you are gonna feel better about yourself, feel healthier. And that is such a good foundation to then, you know, to go on and do the work. I think when we are really running low on energy and like not feeling charged, and then we try and do things from that space, I think that people can pick up on it. So I just feel like your guides are saying to you, literally take that relaxed card to heart if you need to. As you know, there's nothing wrong with prioritizing self-love and self-care in January, Pyle 2, because you are worthy of all the good things. You know, you are a light worker, you are a healer. You deserve to give yourself what you need. And if at that point, at this time, this is a bit more time off, time to rest, then I just think that's only going to do your business good. Really hope that this reading resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments if it did. I would love to get your feedback. If you would like a more personalized reading, I'll put the information about my in-depth business readings in the description below. And if you feel guided to have a personalized reading, maybe for the whole of 2025, you can definitely do that with me. I'm also offering coaching as well, which my coaching incorporates oracle cards, astrology, and human design as well. So we can go really deep with that. And as I said before, my oracle card deck is available for pre-order. That's in the UK only, and I'll put the link to that below as well if you feel like you could do with a business deck to help you navigate your business as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Okay, so hello, Pyle 3. Happy New Year, happy 2025. And I've chosen Pyle 3 with the amethyst there. And I'm just going to put that to one side. And welcome to your January 2025 reading. I'm going to be including cards from my own deck, the Business Oracle for Female Entrepreneurs. I made this deck to be like a business coach in your pocket. We all know how much of a roller coaster business can be. It can be very up and down. And I just really wanted to make something that you could pull a card from, which could help you to stay in balance, to get focused, to know what to focus on in terms of your marketing, in terms of money, self-development, all those kinds of things. And I'm self-publishing this, and it should be ready to ship at the end of January, beginning of February. So if you're in the UK, you can pre-order this. I'll put the link below. I'm trying to find a publisher for it, so hopefully it will be available in other countries at some point this year. That is my intention for this year as well. So let's have a look what cards we get for you for January, Pyle 3. So first of all, I'm going to use my own deck. This is it, and we're going to get 3 cards from my deck. We have got accounts, the dreaded accounts card. We have got networking. And we've also got unplug. Okay, so I'm not surprised that the accounts card has come up, Pyle 3. We're in January. At the end of January, we do self-assessment in the UK. A lot of us are kind of mindful of our accounts in January. And when this card jumps out, it's just kind of a nudge to kind of get you to make sure that your accounts are up to date. If you're anything like me, I really hate doing my accounts, so I try and make it easier by really keeping on top of my accounts every month, having a business bank account that kind of shows me income and expenses. It's easier when it comes to doing a tax return, that kind of thing as well. So not the most interesting card, Pile 3, to start with, but it is a practical card. Kind of makes sense if you are preparing to put in a tax return, self-assessment, something like that. So yeah, just check your accounts in January, make sure everything's up to date, just in case anything's been missed as well. This card can also mean that it might be a good time to work with a bookkeeper or an accountant if accounts is something you really hate doing in your business and you'd rather free up the time to do things that you enjoy. Could be that in January you come across somebody that can help you with that. And that could be at a networking event, okay? So Pile 3, your guides are maybe saying to you in January, like, put yourself out there, do a bit of networking, maybe try some new events as well, so you can meet new people. And I feel like that would be really good for your business, harnessing that January energy where people are kind of feeling like they want to change things, do things differently. So I feel like networking would be a really good marketing strategy for you in January, Pile 3. I would start looking on Eventbrite, like putting in your diary different things, different events that you can go to. As I said, with an emphasis on trying new things, I think that would be really beneficial. You might also be being guided to start your own networking group in 2025. And I feel like that would be really successful, harnessing new energy as well. So you might be thinking about teaming up with another business owner to offer this networking. You could start looking at venues. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to happen in January, but you could get the ball rolling and start like looking at different aspects of it to set up your own event, which is a great way to get yourself out there, to be kind of known as an expert in your field, and obviously to meet other business owners as well. And then we have unplug, okay? So this might seem counterintuitive in January, but it could well be that you don't feel fully ready to fully throw yourself back into things. You might have taken time away from social media over the holidays. I took all my social apps off my phone for a week and I felt amazing. And I'm definitely going to be doing that more often, but I still don't feel like kind of being all in on social media yet. And today's January the 5th. So I really feel like your guides are saying to you, like, if you're not feeling social media, then don't be scared to take time away in January. A lot of people are still getting back into things in January. It's not the end of the world if you're not like all over socials this month, because I feel like you need a bit more time. I feel like being away from screens and doing other things will be really good for you this month as much as possible, just to, recharge your energy. It could be that you were on social media a lot in 2024 and you just need a bit of time out. It could just also be about, like, instead of looking at your phone first thing in the morning, try and do some other things, ease into your day and look at screens later. This can also be about coming off your screens at night, probably before 9 o'clock, avoiding being on your laptop really late because that's obviously going to affect your sleep as well. This can also talk about maybe stepping away from things like Netflix and doing other things instead, listening to podcasts, reading, that kind of thing. Just having like a cozy January and not being over reliant on screens as well. But I don't think anything bad is going to happen to your business if you do take time away from social media in January, Pile 3. I think it'll actually benefit you because you'll feel recharged. You'll be able to go into your energy instead of getting pulled around by other people's energy and maybe what they're doing. And I think it'll be a really positive thing to do, actually. So I'm going to get a couple of business oracle cards that are kind of more spiritual, have a bit more of a kind of spiritual perspective to them. So we have You the Muse with a lotus flower there, which I really love. And we also have just find that one. Ah, nice. fall in love with your own story. Okay, oh, love this. Love the colours as well. So you, the muse, oh, Pile 3, you're like this lotus flower. You've like been in the mud, you've been through it, but look at that blossoming there. The lotus is a massive sign of transformation. Obviously, a lot of spiritual businesses, a lot of businesses use a lotus flower in their logo as well. This is just about you showing off your talents and your light, really embodying your own creativity and stepping into that muse energy. You know, like I already feel like you are like a magnetic person, that people do look to you and listen to you and you inspire people. This is your natural energy and how you're meant to feel. And if you haven't been feeling that recently, then it's really important for you in January, Pile 3, to surround yourself with things, with people that inspire you, be around beauty, be around nature. And that's so important, because the more inspired you are, the more that you can inspire others. This is also about you stepping into the limelight, stepping into the spotlight, to connect with your ideal clients, to connect with your success as well. So this kind of maybe links in with the networking, I think, because you're getting yourself out there to more people. This can be in-person networking or online networking as well, but I just feel like it would be really beneficial to do that, especially if you unplug more this month and you're really, like, your energy gets really clear. I feel like people will really start to respond to it. You are inspirational, Pile 3. You are a creator, okay? You have amazing creative abilities, and you might go in and out of those depending on how you're feeling in yourself. But if you're not feeling great right now, then it's so important for you to give yourself what you need. For me, often, like, I kind of forget to do it, but I need to go and look at art. I have lots of art books, fashion books. I love film, that kind of thing. And I can get really busy and forget to kind of give myself those things, like to go to the cinema or to go to a gallery, that kind of thing. Just be around beautiful things. It's just so inspiring. It's very much about you stepping into the limelight, taking your place on stage, showcasing your talents at the start of this new year, Pile 3, because this is going to inspire other people as well. It's not just about you getting all the attention. This is about you doing what you came here to do and inspire others, okay? One way to kind of work with this is to make a list of people that you admire and think about what it is about them that you really love. Often when we do that, you can recognize what it is, like the qualities that you have yourself, and that's why you're like attracted to that person, maybe to that famous person, that celebrity, that kind of thing. So that could be a good little exercise to do. And we've also got fall in love with your own story, which I feel like links into you, the muse, because I feel like you're being called, Pile 3, to step in to the spotlight, but to not be scared to share your story, to share like things that you've faced, challenges that you've overcome, you know, and like get comfortable with putting it out there. You know, like often we can play down our story, not think it's that important in the grand scheme of things. But I do feel like there's definitely something around you sharing your story, which is going to connect with your ideal clients and just make your business flow much easier. Also be about kind of looking at how you share that story. Sometimes we call it a brand story, but it might be a case of like writing down your story and putting that on your website, or sharing that on Facebook in a group, that kind of thing, in bite-sized chunks. Also podcasts, being a guest on a podcast, setting up a podcast comes up with this. It's also talking about be really mindful of any stories you're telling yourself, Pile 3. We can tell ourselves limiting thoughts, lies, that kind of thing about who we really are. I do feel like there's an opportunity to dig a bit into this, Pile 3, in January, and identifying any limiting beliefs that are maybe holding you back from being this muse, from stepping into the spotlight and figuring out why, okay? Because I feel like you have an incredible story, Pile 3. Everybody's story is unique. Nobody's been through what you've been through, okay? Just be wary of any negative stories you're telling yourself about your abilities this month, pile 3. Be aware of like mimicking somebody else's story because you think that that's what makes them successful. Don't do that. Really focus on what your own story and not other people's. Trust your own story and communicate it honestly. Now is the time to do that. People want to connect with somebody who's relatable, okay? It can also mean just like really checking your messaging, your content, and just making sure that the messaging is coherent, that it's not kind of scattered. I feel like January would be a good time to do that as well. Okay, so let's get an abundance card for January for you, pile 3. Okay, so we have rooted. I feel like this card is all about being grounded, being rooted, building a strong foundation in your business at this time. And gratitude for what you already have in January, even if things might be feeling quite difficult. It's so easy to kind of look at what we don't have, isn't it? But when we do that, we get pulled into lack and scarcity. So we really need to build a strong foundation for gratitude for what we already have. And I feel like that's really important for you in January, just to build a foundation for the rest of the year and to do that gratitude work. And that's just really being grateful for what you already have and what it allows you to do. So you might not be anywhere near where you want to be in business and what you want to earn a month and how many people you want to work with, that kind of thing. But think about what your business already gives you and what it allows you to do, the freedom that you get, maybe the time to spend with your family, not being in the 9-to-5 and having that boss breathing down your neck that you dreamt about leaving all the time and now you have it. Challenging any beliefs that you don't have enough to truly see the blessing in what you have, because there is always a silver lining. One practical way I like to do this is I use an app called Gratitude Jar, and every time something good happens, no matter how small, I type it in, and then you can shake the jar and it will throw out random good things that have happened to you in the past. So that's like a really easy way to practice gratitude. You could even have a gratitude journal, and at the end of every day write down 5 things that you're grateful for and make that a practice. That could be a really good thing to start in January. Just be grateful for whatever you have in the here and now, okay? Grateful for the things and services you pay for the money that goes out of your account, you know, for what that enables you to do as well. And also for any opportunities that might be coming in, that are going to come in for you in 2025. Anything exciting that you've got planned as well. Like, it might be right now you're really feeling like in winter, in hibernation, like not a lot might be going on, but think about the potential of what could happen in 2025. When you ground yourself in the present moment with thoughts of thankfulness for what you already have, you open the door for more prosperity to enter your life. So I think a lot of us know that we need to do the gratitude practice, but it's easy to let it fall by the wayside or forget to do it. And then we find ourselves starting to panic about money, that kind of thing. So if that's resonating with you, then really like go away from this reading and start your gratitude practice and try and be consistent with it all the way through January. And I do think that it will bring you more abundance and shift your energy around. And it's just quite an easy but such an important thing to do, but so easy to forget. So next I'm going to get you a self-care card, because it's so easy to feel out of balance in business. And we need to try and stay in balance and avoid burnout. Okay, so we have movement. We've got somebody here in a yoga pose there. I think it's tree. And we've kind of got like an aura, like an energy field emanating from the figure. So I feel like it's really important, pile 3 in January, to prioritize movement. Often we just want to hibernate and get cozy and not move very much, but I feel like it would be really beneficial for you to move as much as possible, maybe kick in with a yoga practice in January as often as you can. maybe swim, do movement that feels good to you. Even if you might not feel like doing a lot right now, just bring that in. I feel like with the gratitude practice and the movement, that's really gonna be really beneficial for your energy, and going to be feeling more grateful, better in yourself, and that energy will spread out. And I think that will bring you clients, help to bring you clients as well. So kind of loving that guidance, because it can feel like you don't really want to move around much. I know that I can feel like that in January. But I feel like it would be really beneficial to do that. This could be finding a new class to do, like enjoyable class. I'm kind of getting the energy. It's nothing too, it doesn't need to be anything too energetic. It can be really gentle, like yoga nidra. Just kind of like gentle movement is enough in January, and it will make a lot of difference as well. So next I'm going to get you a business astrology card. I'm getting really into business astrology. I find it really interesting. You can do a chart for your business. You can use the day of registration of your business or when you made your first sale, and use a site like Astrology to create a business birth chart. And then read it on astrology, or go to an astrologer for a more detailed business reading. Okay, great. So we have got Lilith empowerment. So this actually came out for me the other day. And I was kind of excited because Lilith is all about the, feminine energy, powerful feminine energy, female empowerment. And she's in this cave, but she's kind of like taken herself off to the cave to kind of grow more powerful, if that makes sense. Strength, freedom, and rebellion. And she's asking you to reclaim your wild feminine traits. And Lilith in business astrology represents your ability to be strong, powerful, and potent. Okay, this is not about fitting in, pile 3. Okay, this isn't about doing everything, okay, in your business either. The only person you need to satisfy is yourself in January, pile 3. And it's a really good time to disconnect from other people's opinions of your business, okay? Kind of like the energy here where she's putting herself in the cave. She's kind of retreating from the expectations that others have placed on her. And this is very empowering to kind of, step away from any expectations that other people have and to fully step into what you actually want to do. It can be easy to try and fit into the business world, kind of do what everybody else is doing, but I feel like pile 3, you're being guided to really not go down that route. That's not going to empower you. It's about being rebellious. It's about doing what you want to do, what you came here to do, and like really owning that. So some of the journal questions are, where have you become disempowered in your business? And recognizing if you need alone time to energize yourself to go into that cave. Okay, like we can be out a lot and kind of spreading our energy around, but I do feel like there's a need in January as well to protect your energy, pile 3, as well as, balance that with going out into the world, but being selective about where you go. And the affirmation is, my business is wild, potent, and free. So I'm kind of loving that energy coming for you at the beginning of the year, pile 3, claiming your wild feminine power and really channeling that into your business, because I think that's so needed at this time. And next I'm going to get you a power word for January. And you have got passion, which is such a great card to get for business. And again, I think it's linking in with that Lilith card that just came out. So this is all about doing what you're passionate about. Really following that passion at this time, not feeling like you need your business to fit into some mold, to be doing what other people are doing. It's really like stepping into what you're passionate about in 2025 and following that as much as possible. I kind of like the firework imagery here. It's very vibrant, very colourful, very powerful, and I just very much feel like January 2025 and the year as a whole is really a time for you to fully step into what you're passionate about. No messing around, no like teetering around the edge, one foot in, one foot out, because you're scared of what people might think. I think it's time to go all in, because when you do what you're completely passionate about, that resonates with people and people take notice. If you're kind of playing it safe, then I think people can pick up on that as well. So passion and empowerment, such powerful words for you, Pile 3. Love that. And finally, I'm going to get you an affirmation card for January. I love it. Based on what we were saying about gratitude earlier, I am a river of gratitude. I'm just going to put that in the middle there. So yeah, I feel like gratitude is a key thing for you to practice in January. It's been mentioned already. And yeah, it can be super simple. As I said, just having a new notebook and like really paying attention to what you feel grateful for, instead of letting those pesky lack thoughts come in and tell you that, you know, you're not earning enough, or you're not doing enough, that kind of thing, or you don't have enough. I really like that gratitude jar app as well. If you've got any other suggestions of gratitude practice and what you can do, then please comment. I'd be really interested to hear. But I feel like this is the key energy for you for January, Pile 3, just to really root into that gratitude no matter what's going on right now. And that is just such a brilliant foundation point for you to then go off and into these other directions that have come out in the cards, okay? Self-love, looking after yourself, really shifting into doing what you're fully passionate about, which will massively empower you, instead of doing what you maybe think you should do based on, you know, what other people are doing or what's acceptable. You are inspirational, you are the muse, and your story is so important as well. So I'm just really excited about January for you, Pile 3. These two cards are so, to me, like so powerful. I'm really excited about you fully stepping into your passion in 2025, because that's what the world needs, and that's going to make your business feel so much easier. You're going to feel so much more in alignment, so much more empowered, and it's just what's needed, okay? So I really hope that resonated. Please comment below if it did. I would love to get your feedback. And I am available for personalized business readings. I'll put the details below. I do a 3-month ahead in-depth business reading with a business plan. And I also do a 12-month year ahead business reading, which looks at the energy of each month of 2025. So I'll put the links to everything below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.